For very good results in jinga production, you really want to give jinga virgin land. Virgin land is land that has not been used for in production for some good time, about let's say 3 years out of production. It's just rested. It's not doing any activity. Jinga would not give very good results in soils that have been overworked. It will not. It does well in brown soils. It also does well in stony soils. There are soils that are stony. The soils must be, not that they must be, it does well in soils that are stony because the rhizomes get an opportunity to jangle their way in the soils. Also, the soils must be deep, okay? They must be deep soils. Rocky soils are good, but they should be deep. Make sure that the site that you are choosing is next to the main road or it has an access road. This is very important because all the inputs that come to this farm they are heavy and bulky. For example, the coffee husks, you're going to need a lot of it, if you are doing a large acreage of production. Next is preparation of the land. The preparation of the land, the key and most important thing that you have to have at the back of your head is that you have to make sure that by the time you are planting or you are getting your jinga into the soil, there are no weeds, and weeds have been totally dealt with. When we're talking about weeds, coach grass, you know coach grass in its rhizomes, spear grass, those two grasses, they really compromise the yield. Besides that, during land preparation, we prefer that you use a tractor, plow the soil deep for the very reason we want the soils deep. So we get a tractor, we run it through and get the soils flipped and jangle all the residues of a plant in the soil. Lighten up the soils. The soils must be light, no big clods. After the tractor has gone through, it leaves very big clods of soil behind. Get all those things crushed and want the soils as fine as possible. Don't plant young ginger for 2 reasons or 3 reasons. If you plant rhizomes that are young rhizomes are those ones that we find on the shelves in the market and they are ready for consumption, but not for seed. If you plant them young, they will not have enough reserves to give you a good yield. So what is going to happen when you plant very young rhizomes is that they will not give you as many shoots. And because you don't have as many shoots, you are not going to have a good yield in the end. Also, young seed comes with complications when it comes to pests, when it comes to diseases. That seed will not sustain the cycle. It is going to die before you even get to harvest it. It will not give you good results. So a good seed, what should a good seed look like? It should be pest-free, it should be disease-free, but most importantly, it should be mature seed. A mature seed is one that is about a year old, a year old. And that you can tell by the skin, that you can tell by the taste, that you can tell by the color. Okay, so this is the seed that we planted. And I emphasize that the seed must be mature. So mature seed we planted, and it is giving us all of this. And guess what? She is not yet up of age. She's still young. Yeah, she's just she's now 5 months. Okay. Now, if I gave her another 1 month, you can imagine what is going to be happening, because clearly me and you can see that she's still expanding. All these are signs that I'm still expanding. I'm still expanding. I'm still expanding. The seed has to go through a bit of preparation stages. You're going to dry it under. You're going to keep it under the sun for about 2 days, and after 2 days, that's of course after you have broken it into segments. You keep it under the sun, and then depending on what stage of the rain cycle you are at. If the rains have started already, you're going to do a bit of incubation. You incubate the seed. We incubate it in the ground so that it can sprout. There are stages there that we go through. But if you are just planting in the dry season, then after drying it for 2 days, you can go ahead and you you plant it. An acre, you should plan to use about 40 people, to help you with the planting. And about 20 of them are digging holes, and about 10 of them or 15 of them are helping with placing the seed right, and then covering with the soil. It's very, very important that by the time you are planting, you have enough labor. Otherwise, it may cost you more than you anticipated. After planting, that is when we get to apply the manures. The best, if you can afford, is to combine the poultry manure with the coffee husks. That also gives very good results. It's something I've done and I've loved it, and I want to keep doing. Spread it fairly on the ground. Don't allow heaps of it in the ground, because every time you have heaps of the coffee husks in your garden, they are going to burn up that seed when it is coming out, so it will not do very well. So after that, your garden is going to rest for a period of almost a month, and at a month time you are not doing anything. And after a month, that is when the sprouting is going to start. Okay. So when the sprouting starts, you come and you remove all the weeds. Whichever method you're going to use to remove the weeds, that's up to you. Whether you are going to choose to pick them, or you can pass a very dilute herbicide to get rid of the weeds. One thing I should emphasize here is that it really depends on who your target market is. If your target market tells you that we want it organic, then we are not going to use these chemicals. And this is when the spraying begins. Whether you're going organic or you're going to go inorganic, and you're going to be spraying. If you are going organic, of course, you're going to use organic compounds. Okay. If you are going inorganic, you're going to be using inorganic compounds there. Okay. And when you are spraying, what you need to have in mind is that you have to have a combination of what is going to deal with the diseases, what is going to deal with the pests that are in there, and what is going to be a foliar fertilizer. After you have taken that path, next thing there is for the next 5 months or so, you're just going to be weeding and spraying with these chemicals. Starting the end of the 5th month, we begin to cut down on the intensive care that we have been giving it. Before, we were spraying it at an interval of 2 weeks, okay? And by the time we are end of the 5th month, now we begin to take it at 3 weeks, spray every after 3 weeks. And that you're going to spray like twice. And then from there, we give up the spray, okay? We give up the weeding, but we don't harvest a crop. But when do I know my ginger is now ready for harvest? Normally at about 6-7 months, the signs begin showing. The leaves change, the color changes. You also see in the ground that now my ginger is ready. Okay, my ginger is ready. Not ready for harvest, but ready to let loose. You take off the intense management. Otherwise, for quality ginger, you have to allow it to stay in the ground for a period of 9-10 months for the ginger to come out very, very good. If you follow all those things, number one, your cost of production is going to be fair to you, and your ginger is going to come out very well, and you'll be in very good profit.